Now it's time for a Hollywood classic. As a young man and a young nerd in college, I think you'll be shocked to hear that I was not the most popular guy with the girls. In no small part because I have no idea how to talk to girls, even now. But as I was trying to figure those things out, a film series I kept returning to over and over again was the Thin Man series. This is absolutely one of my all-time favorite movie series. Each one is a murder mystery wherein married detectives Nick and Nora Charles, actually Nick is a detective and Nora is his rich wife who sort of inserts herself into the investigations. They're utterly charming movies. Now, it's fair to say that in the original Thin Man, which is the movie I want to talk to you about today, as in the sequels, the whodunit aspect is both thin and confusing. The murders themselves are never terribly interesting, and the ways in which they are resolved never quite make sense. There's this idea in mystery storytelling of a thing called a fair play mystery. And what a fair play mystery is that's a mystery that the reader or viewer should be able to figure out on their own. The Thin Man are not fair play mysteries. They are, here are a bunch of red herrings, here are a bunch of suspects, and at the end of the movie we're going to pick one, right? So on that level, the Thin Man movies don't work great. On the where they do work great is in the performances, particularly a pair of earth-shattering performances that anchor each one and make the whole series can't miss. And that's Nick and Nora Charles, Mr. and Mrs. Thin Man as they're often called. I don't even want to get into that. But anyway, Nick Charles is played by William Powell, a great old Hollywood performer. He'd been married to Jean Harlow. He's a thin guy with a slim mustache and a razor-sharp wit, who has never met a glass of liquor he doesn't like. Nick Charles is utterly charming. Also utterly charming, his wife Nora, played by the amazing Myrna, an actress who could not have been more famous really in the 30s and 40s. She was voted at one point the actress that most American men wanted to marry. She is a wonderful, wonderful actress who, sadly, her work has been often forgotten by audiences today. But man, oh man, does she sparkle here. She is just as witty as Nick, in every way his equal. And true, she's not the detective he is, but she is no damsel in distress or fainting flower either. She is out there in the front lines trying to sniff things out through sheer stubbornness and determination. It's also great that Nick and Nora treat each other as equals for the most part. Their scenes together always spark. There's also this idea in fiction like this that once you marry off your main characters that it's all over, right? If you look back at Cheers, the thing that drove Cheers for so long was the will they or won't they of Sam and Diane. The same with a show like The Office, or I'm a comic book fan. There was an argument years ago that Spider-Man should never have gotten married to Mary Jane and that marriage had ruined the character. I disagree, but what they ended up doing, well, if you're a comic fan, you know the garbage that ended up coming out of that. But The Thin Man is a series that proves the strength of a true partnership and marriage. And I'm happy to say that this is very schmaltzy, I found much the same in my own life. But watching these two together as true equals and as a pair of performances that are so sharp and witty and sparkling in that sort of old school 1930s New York way, these are all-timer movies, and I'm giving the first Thin Man 4 stars.